This episode of Rookie Hunter is brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation. Adventures in sheep country can change your life, and as residents of BC, we're very fortunate to have 3 different species of sheep in our province. After attending the Wild Sheep Foundation's annual convention, Sheep Show, in Reno, Nevada, we got to see what conservation looks like firsthand. The Wild Sheep Foundation's ability to raise and put millions of dollars on the ground each year to keep these majestic animals on the mountaintops worldwide is unmatched. The Wild Sheep family is a diverse group of people from all walks of life, and membership is open to anyone. Whether you're a seasoned pro, it's your first time on the mountain, or you just like to see sheep on the hillside, you can sign up and join today. Kelly and I are lifetime members, but you can become an annual member for just $45. You can also become a member of the Less Than One Club, which is the only club you want to get kicked out of. If you've never taken a North American or international ram, you can join us in the Less Than One Club for an extra $25. Plus, Less Than One Club membership also includes entry into a draw for 3 separate Dall sheep hunts, which will be given away at Sheep Show in 2019. For more information on the Wild Sheep Foundation and to become a member, head over to wildsheepfoundation.org. Hey guys, welcome to episode 71. If you're wondering what you're getting yourself into, this is your first time here. Well, myself, Mike Peterson, and Kelly Molnar are heading into our 5th season of hunting. And although we've shed the rookie title in some aspects, the idea behind this podcast is for us to be open to all types of hunting. There's lots of things we haven't done, lots of places we haven't been to. So this is a journey and an exploration into all the many areas of hunting and conservation and everything that goes with it. Those of you that have been on since the very beginning, you've got to hear our journey from 2 guys who had no idea what the hell they're talking about to 2 guys who know a few more things than they did in previous years. We got something fun going on. If you're on Instagram, our sponsor, North Arm Knives, has put together a beautiful knife with our logo engraved right into the blade. We're going to be giving that away over the next month here. So we'll have all the details on how you can win that on our Instagram page. Just search for us, the Rookie Hunter Podcast, or you can find a link to us through our website, which is therookihunter.com. Please keep the emails coming, comments, questions, show ideas. Keep sending them in. We love to see that stuff. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the Jurassic Classic feature we did last week. Put a lot of time into that one. And if you did enjoy it, there's something you can do to help us out. And I bet you already guessed what that is. So you can head over to iTunes and leave us a rating or review, especially you guys down south of the border in the United States. Please help us out. We really appreciate it. It only takes a couple minutes. Also, before we jump into this one, don't forget to support our sponsors, as I already mentioned, North Arm Knives, and of course, the Wild Sheep Foundation. Head over there and become a member today. Let's get into this one. Sit back, relax, crack a cold beer, and enjoy episode 71 with myself and Kelly Molnar. Kelly, you all right?
Not really, man. I don't know why I drink coffee.
It's because you can't drink beer. I think that's probably why.
Probably.
I'm concerned about you.
Yeah, no, I just I don't know. Usually it's like stronger coffee, like, you know, if something's got espresso in it, or I go to like a fancy coffee shop and end up down in some strong coffee. I get like lightheaded and then caffeine. I'm just not good with it. I think I have a sensitivity, but every once in a while I just get it on normal coffee too. So like currently I'm feeling a little bit uneasy, but I think I'm just going to stop drinking coffee altogether.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
I mean, I like coffee.
I love it.
I don't.
You've always kind of had a...
I don't love it, but I do enjoy it every morning. It's more of like a comfort thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. I'm going to give that a shot. But that's what's happening at the moment. I feel like laying down.
Nice. So let's be honest here, Kelly. We both failed the challenge. The August challenge.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about this next challenge.
Well, you already failed that one.
That's a mulligan.
Okay, we'll talk
about that later.
Kyle he said he was having pizza and beer on September 1st. So both of you guys, I'll let you off the hook here. But so
I didn't think Kyle agreed to this, did he?
it was his idea.
Oh, really?
It was, yeah.
Hmm.
And Kevin's like 100 days deep or something like that. So
Ah,
I don't think we have to worry about him. But so we set a challenge for August. And if I learned anything from that challenge, it's not to do a challenge in August. So we didn't, it wasn't an ambitious challenge really, but there were some factors. One, it's summertime. I'm not making excuses because we probably could have found other ways to do it. Two, they're fitness challenges and the smoke in here was incredible. And I don't know. I think
even indoors, it was bad, depending on what building you were in.
So I'm making excuses, but there is no excuse. So we failed. We can still redeem ourselves in September here. And with a failure comes a consequence. Are you ready for this, Kelly?
Yep.
I'm about to serve you your consequence.
Okay, shoot.
So I've added an extra 15 days to your sober September.
Okay.
Which puts us right to the hunt, which is what I was going to do anyways.
Yep.
So we're going month and a half.
Make it 16 days. 16?
Yeah,
because I blew one of the days already.
Oh, okay.
But
well, I want to do it with you, so I'm willing to let that one day slide.
Okay. I had an anniversary dinner that I had a reservation at a winery.
That's why I'll let you off the hook.
Kelowna thing. It's not like we downed a bottle, but I did have a glass because, it's kind of tradition. We always get, usually we get a bottle of, we usually drink local wine because Kelowna is great for that. But usually on the anniversary, we get like like Bordeaux or like something from France.
Yep.
We get a bottle of it, like a really nice bottle. We didn't do that this year, but I did have a glass. So that's my, as I was drinking it, I was like, I don't mind this. It wasn't like I was cracking a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make it a habit.
And there may have been a glass of champagne too.
Oh, more details. So we'll talk about if I'm going to do a fitness side of this thing for September. I don't know if you are, but if anybody falls off the sober wagon, I've been looking at recipes for moose testicles over the campfire.
Yeah.
So first we have to get a moose, but if anyone falls off, I'll be making some gourmet
moose nut s'mores.
Yeah. So keep that in mind.
It's a Canadian special.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound appealing.
Hey, I'll try and make it good. I'll do a good job. But maybe nobody's going to have to eat them.
I hope not.
It's a BC inland oyster.
Yeah. It's a big oyster.
Be a couple of bites for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Nothing for me?
I thought that was just like all of us, like,
Oh, no, but I failed the August challenge as well.
Yeah. So you want a punishment for that?
Yeah.
But no, I'm just talking September though. If any of us fall off the wagon, then that's the punishment for all of us.
All of us. Yeah.
There's only so many nuts to go around. But
only two.
Are you're doing the extra 15 anyway?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
There's a chance I would.
Well, why don't we just make that the we agreed to make it a month.
Yep.
We both messed up August, so I think that automatically adds an extra 2 weeks to the challenge.
Yeah. I'll be honest though, man. I'm not too disappointed with August. I did get out and do quite a bit of hiking.
Mm-hmm.
I did do a lot of yoga, which was nice to fucking go inside and do that.
Yeah.
And I did win a race.
Yeah, that was, but you have black lung now, so.
I do have the black lung, yeah. I've only got a couple more years of hunt left in me, but.
Yeah. No, I wasn't doing too bad like that first week and a half of
You were
August.
coming out strong there, yeah.
Yeah, I had like over 100 I think I had over 100 kilometers on my bike just in the first week.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh man, this is going to be easy. Because I had like 360 kilometers, I think. Most of it was bike related. It sucks a little bit too because I can't, like if I go for a walk or hike or something, I'm going by myself. I can't take the dog anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be in surgery tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, came out strong. And then the smoke came in stronger.
Let's not do that again in August. September.
Yeah.
I don't know.
June, July was good.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to continue on for September. Are you?
I'm going to continue riding my bike, but have we talked about the IT band situations? Because you've got a nagging one.
Yeah, I fucked mine up back in January of this year.
Yeah.
And it's been an ongoing issue. I still run a lot, but I'm very nervous to push it beyond a certain point. So when we did our challenge last year, it was such a bummer, man, because I was doing 14-kilometer runs just for fun, basically, because I'd been running so much as part of that challenge. And then to finish it, I decided my whole goal was to finish with a half marathon, which is just over 21 kilometers. So I did that. And I think it was like 18 kilometers. I was almost done this thing. And all of a sudden my leg just started, I thought I was cramping up from dehydration. So I finished this thing off. I got home, my leg completely seized up and like was hardly even working. I was like swinging it to even just get back to the house, but finished. And I thought, okay, that was just dumb. I didn't bring any water.
Got the big gate going.
Yeah. And then from that point on, I started doing runs again, and I realized I couldn't go past like 6 to 8 kilometers. I'd hit that mark, and then it would just start to kick in, and I couldn't run. I could stop for a minute, stretch it out. I could run a bit, and I have to stop and stretch, and I didn't really know what was going on. So I went to physio for it for a couple of months, and just doing some different exercises and stretching, and he was doing some acupuncture, thank you, and like hooking up the electric pad things to it too, and shocking the shit out of it. But basically what he said, you just have to keep strengthening that and stretching it out. So I've been trying to do all those exercises, and it's only kind of bothered me a few times, and that's like if I do a 10K race, I really push myself a lot harder than I normally do when I do these races. And usually around that 8-kilometer mark, I can feel it kicking in again. I keep getting scared that I'm going to really do a number on it again. I don't want to do that. I don't think it'll affect hunting, but it's just an injury I don't want to have to keep dealing with. And IT band syndrome is pretty common, and some people are able to deal with it within a couple of months. Some people, it takes a couple of years. It's a huge pain in the ass, man.
Yeah, I don't understand how like people like Cam Hanes and those guys, they do the Bigfoot 200s and all these things. I don't know.
But yeah, it's just, it doesn't have the same effect for everyone. And, you know, one of the exercises he said that's really important to do is just doing squats and stuff like that too. He was looking at my leg and stuff like that. And if I stand and I'm flexing, there's actually kind of like an indent on my ass cheek, where if I had more muscle mass there, it would sort of have a little bit of a badonk-donk there. So he said squats is a big one because you're trying to strengthen that out. But also the problem is that it's a tight piece that's rubbing on your, like the side of your knee, basically. It's just flicking back and forth across that, and it gets to a certain point where you can't handle it anymore. So
yeah.
Anyways.
And that's what happened with my bike.
Yeah.
Which I thought biking was always better for you from an impact. I guess it is from an impact perspective, but like from an IT band perspective, it rubs on the upstroke and then down, right? So like for every pedal, you're hitting it twice.
Yeah.
So I think instead of putting a number on the September challenge, I'm just going to, my main goal is just stay active, make sure I'm doing something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm finding that putting a number on it is really just causing me to hurt myself.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about a few times. So I'm just going to, do as much as I can, but also make sure I'm not overdoing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have to have a number on it because then it holds me accountable. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, got this goal, I got to do it. And if I don't, then I got to eat a testicle.
There you go.
But anyways, the whole point of this is to be in good shape for hunting, and we're dealing with a big animal and that. So we don't want to overdo it and go up there with injuries.
You know what? I think a very important piece to all this, like cardio is one thing, but going to the gym and strength training, I think is like 70%. I think cardio is like, it's great for hiking and like doing all these things, but the strength factor is huge. That's something that I used to do a lot back in the day, and I haven't recently, but a gym pass, something like that would be huge.
Yeah, I will never go to it. I just can't. I've tried it. I can't do it. I don't know why.
I don't mind like if you got headphones and you go and you can kind of block everybody out. It's after a while, I find it takes like a good 3 or 4 months to really get into the groove of it.
Yeah.
But it can take that long just to get your muscles back to the point where it's like, oh, I can actually kind of max them out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that first 2 to 3 months is always just the biggest challenge to get back in there, right? Because you're kind of starting back from the beginning, like, little 25s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the hardest part for me is like I've only got so much free time and I want to spend it outside. So if I'm going to exercise, I want to do it outside. But I do have kettlebells and free weights and stuff at home that I use. So that's kind of my morning routine, is to pull that stuff out and then go for a run. The kettlebell's pretty crazy. That thing is a awesome workout.
I've got a couple of those too. You got to be careful with those too.
Yeah,
like just make sure you start light and then work yourself up.
You should probably I think the best thing to do, and I plan to do this, is go and actually get someone to train you to use them properly, because you can really injure yourself with those things.
Yeah.
Swinging them around in that. Oof. But yeah, those are awesome. I've kind of just got a few exercises that I'm comfortable doing with the kettlebells. There's a few other ones that I tried. I'm like, this is going to end up in an injured back. So I'm going to stay away from that one. You try and watch videos and stuff like that, but there's so many alignment things that you're not paying attention to when you're swinging those things around, right?
You kind of need a mirror, like a wall with a mirror on it.
But even, just someone to tell you to arch your back a certain way, or there's so many things to think about. So you gotta be careful with those ones, but I plan to use them more often, because man, you get a wicked workout with those. But anyways, I think that's good on the fitness side of things. Curious what other people are doing. Today is September 3rd. Archery season is officially open as of the 1st here in BC, in our region anyways. There's opportunities that have opened up earlier in northern parts of the province, but for the general BC public, this is kind of the exciting time for all of us. September 10th is when rifle season opens up. I'm waiting until then. I have a crossbow, but I just don't feel like using it.
Yeah, I mean, the timing this year, it doesn't seem to be, I think we're more focused on the end of September, rifle hunt, doing some hiking there. I haven't shot my bow this year, but I am prepping for hunting, right? Like I've got all my gear out. I've washed it with, I use that Nick Wax tech wash. And then you can use the wash in, it's called Direct TX, and it puts a DWR kind of finish back into your fabrics. Yeah. So doing that, waxing all my boots, and cleaning all the rifles and all that. Yeah. So I like to do those 3 things before every season.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do my rain gear. It's one thing I got to spend a bit of time on, but it's exciting to run through that process, because it's, what's coming around the corner. We've done this a few times where we've posted photos of our boots and stuff like that, and it gets quite a bit of a conversation going, which is kind of cool. The care side of things, I know you and I both do different things. I just use a mink oil on my their Irish Setter boots, the elk trackers. Those are made by Red Wings, same thing. Yeah, and that's worked out really well. I think I'm going into my, how many seasons have I had those now? This might be my 4th season with those boots. Yeah,
I think
and they look like brand new, man.
Yeah.
Got some new laces. That's the beauty of Red Wings too, is that if you need new laces, you just tell them and they send them to you. They actually sent me 2 pairs. So I got a fresh pair on and another pair for the backpack.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I use that Nick Wax, which you can put in your hand basically, and you just rub it on. And it takes like literally 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But you can also pack that stuff in and do it at camp. I think the big thing is, it just is a reminder for everybody not to put your boots beside the fire. Yeah. It's like the worst thing you could do for leather. Crack them all. Yeah, I think that's about it though for prep.
I need to go and sight in my rifle, actually.
Oh, do you? I'm feeling pretty good about mine, but I always don't mind taking a couple shots every season just to make sure.
Yeah, Yeah, it's I'm sure it's okay, but I don't know. We were out doing the bear and all that kind of stuff, and who knows what can happen between then and now
Hmm.
and that. So it would be nice to go out and fire a few shots. Just again, it's that peace of mind and just gives you a little extra
Yeah.
confidence, one less thing to think about when you're out there. So
Yeah. It's always fun to toss a couple from like 325, 350 too.
yeah,
When you know the distance, that's actually not totally unreasonable.
no,
And this is after 4 or 5 years of
yeah.
hunting now, but yeah, it's always fun to do that.
Hmm. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point coming up here because the 10th. Which does that fall on? Is a Monday, next Monday, a week from today. I'd like to go out and see if I can find a mule deer next week at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Get out in the morning before I come in here would be nice. We got out and went after some snowshoe hares. Brought one home. Yeah. It was kind of a last minute plan.
Mm-hmm.
And we got up there sort of just at the end of the evening.
Yeah, and I thought we'd see more as the sun kind of went down, but it was actually, we saw more at like 6 o'clock?
Yeah, as we sort of just got to where we wanted to be. So we saw 3 and took home 1.
I think we saw, yeah,
3.
so 4 in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw 1 ripping through the bush
Yeah.
that I thought I could get a bead on, but he was faster and smarter than we were. And then there was a couple on the road. One of them we had a chance on. One of them was pretty skittish from a long ways away.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the last one there, we ended up getting him. And then on the way back, like nothing. I thought as twilight kind of, it went into 8 o'clock, 8:30, there'd be rabbits all over. But
yeah. It's the first time I've done it in the evening. It's always been morning, and I feel like sort of the golden time is like before 9:30, somewhere in that area. After that, they seem to just disappear.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the first time I've gone up in the evening, and I know it's kind of the same idea. You get the same bit of lighting as it's starting to turn to dusk. They are running around. But yeah, if we got up there an hour earlier, I think we probably just would have saw a lot more.
Yeah.
There's a few other guys up there too, looking for rabbits.
Yep.
Or hares. It's fun though, man. So you've got one in the freezer. You decided what you want to do with that one yet?
No, it's hard when you only have one.
It's nice to have 2.
Yeah, a couple, 2 or 3 would be good. So I vacuum sealed it.
Nice.
So I'll keep that one, see how it goes. We have some folks we want to take rabbit hunting.
Yeah, I've been trying to get them out. Again, it's like that August thing where everybody's just busy. It's really hard to line stuff up. So I think the one guy, Jeremy, has all of his stuff in order. The other guy, I think, just sent his off. They were kind of slow sending it off. So Jeremy, I think we can get out there pretty quick. It would be a lot of fun to do that and capture their reactions. But yeah, man, good times. One thing I don't think I mentioned a couple weeks back when we were talking about some of the items, and maybe you have more to add to this now that we've started making lists and stuff, Kelly. But we were talking about Garrett had a really nice Wyoming saw that he brought along with us when we went up north last year. I don't know what we would have done without that thing.
Yeah, it's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
And I think we had it on the elk hunt too.
Yeah.
And it made breaking down the elk a lot easier too.
Yeah.
Like when you're dealing with the legs, right?
Yeah. But we were using that to cut up firewood and stuff like that. So I started to look at them and I was almost going to buy one. And I'm like, hey, hold on, wait a second. What if I just used my hacksaw? So I looked up the weight. I don't know the weights offhand of the Wyoming saw. And then I measured my hacksaw or weighed my hacksaw too. And it ended up being quite a bit lighter. So I just bought a few different blades. I've got just a regular blade on there and also some bone blades. I bought 3 of those. So I'm just going to throw that in my pack and we can make use of that.
Yep.
So just sort of a cheap way to have a pretty, as long as you buy good blades for it, then you're laughing. So that'll come in handy for a number of different things.
And did you say you can break it down?
No, you can. Yep.
Yeah.
The only thing with the Wyoming saw, so if you picture a hacksaw, it kind of just comes up, right, bends at a 90 and comes across. With the Wyoming, it kind of goes up on a 45 before it comes to, leveling out on top, which gives you more depth. So if you're trying to cut through a bigger piece of log or something like that, then you can do that with a hacksaw. If you're cutting wood with it, you're going to have to like turn the wood around. It's not as ideal as, I think that's one of the benefits of having the Wyoming saw, but I just figured, fuck, I've already got a blade and everything, so I might as well just bring that along.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast that saw worked, the firewood and everything else we needed up there.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, we had a stove. When we go back in that direction again, we won't have a stove. We'll be looking at Hilleberg tents or similar.
Yeah.
We actually got an email from somebody, Wade, who recently bought a Nalo 3, a Hilleberg.
Yeah.
And he's highly recommended it. And he said that he's taken it on a moose hunt, and he's not worried about snow at all.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't buy the GT and says there's enough room for a couple packs in there.
Yep.
Which I would believe him. I haven't actually seen them in real life, but I still kind of gear towards that GT, the vestibule, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking more for sheep hunting, where you want to, if you get pinned down for a while, it's nice to have as much room as you can get.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, he had quite a good review on there. He said there's a lot of guidelines, but it's pretty rare that you're going to, be in an issue where you can't stake it down.
Right.
And they do make like snow stakes or sand stakes where they're specifically built for that terrain if you find yourself on there. So yeah, I think it's that tent is on the top of our list.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep looking. That'll be a purchase for the new year.
2019.
Yeah. I think there might be a few for next year.
Yeah, we got a lot of planning to do.
Yeah, we definitely do. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add on the gear side of things.
I don't think so. I mean,
the one thing I got
actually, I did get one accessory for my pack. It's the Peak Design capture clip.
Yep.
And a lot of folks have probably seen this, but if you have a DSLR, it's kind of hard. I was putting it in my pack.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to, take it out in time to snap a quick photo of whatever, or, if the weather's kind of shitty, it's like, I don't want to, take all my stuff out and get my camera. With this, it just clips right onto the side of your pack strap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a trigger system. So, hit the trigger with your thumb and your camera's ready to go.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So that's huge. Especially for us, like we'll get a little more media focused with the content.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll be huge. Game changer from that perspective. And then on the truck side of things, I picked up some chains from Canadian Chains.
Oh yeah.
The big V-bar ones, and they're like heavy duty, man.
Nice.
I think they're like 45 pounds, like both the chains.
Yeah.
If you pick them up. So I could probably do some training with those.
You could throw those in your pack.
Yeah. So, and those are cool. I just threw them on the tires today in the driveway. Got a couple looks from the neighbors. Like,
what are you doing, man?
You can't run those in the summer. But no, I just kind of like, backed up on a couple 2x4s.
Yeah.
And then I was able to put them on and test fit them. So yeah, that's kind of like an emergency. You don't want to use them.
Yeah.
But if you have to, then they're there.
Yeah, for sure.
So
sweet.
That's all I got for gear.
Good. We've talked about this a bit, Kelly, and it's like, and people mention it too. They try and, I've seen it used as an argument is like, oh, you guys are going out and getting this organic meat, and why the heck are you adding things like, pork fat to it? Doesn't that kind of lessen the appeal of it? And the way it is if you're making sausages or even grind for burgers and meatballs and stuff like that, you want to add some fat back into the meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some guys will add straight up pork to different recipes for sausages and stuff like that. So this year was kind of nice. I found this farm in the North Okanagan. It's like an organic farm, and I was really happy with how they run things up there. And told the guy what I was looking for, and he said, "You know what? We're slaughtering a bunch of pigs tomorrow. I'll vacuum seal a few bags of fat back for you and set it aside." And he actually brought it to the farmers market here for me, which was pretty cool. So the grind that I've done this year, I've used that, and I still have quite a bit left if you plan on doing any sausages or anything like that. that's one step closer to making it as pure as possible, right? When we're doing sausages and stuff like that. But I decided to take it one step further. And at the beginning of summer, I actually bought a pig. So some friends of mine have a farm. We did a podcast from the farm. I was looking after it last summer. So I spent a lot of time up there, and they mentioned they bought 4 pigs. And I said, yeah, sign me up for one of them. So I've been going up there and feeding them and stuff like that, and kind of getting a feel for how all that works. And at the probably the end of October or early November, we'll butcher them, and that'll be used for our next batch of whatever we do. And of course, all the other good things that come with a pig will come out of that. So I think you may or may not be interested in taking some of that too. But just one more, as you get into hunting, it's that process of thinking about where your food comes from and what you're adding to it, and your impact on it, right? And it's just nice to know, for example, where your vegetables come from. It's nice to buy it from local farms when you get it right from the farmer. It's a cool thing. It's nice when you can go and, harvest your own deer and do everything yourself. It's very rewarding. And the same thing for doing something like a pig. It's just kind of a cool thing to be involved in. So doing the slaughter and butchering is going to be a totally new experience. And I think you're going to come along for that regardless. So we might have to make an episode out of this because it's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. No, I think we're up for a quarter.
Sweet.
Quarter of the pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we could do we could do like smoked pork chops with it and all that kind of stuff, man. So it'll be kind of fun and a neat way because we'll have so much meat from that thing. It's going to be like 300 pounds when it's all done. It's going to be a monster.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to try some things with the pork that we can then apply to doing wild game too.
For sure.
Which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And use that meat towards sausages and all that kind of stuff with wild game. So
yeah, I mean, I think we really need a Traeger. We've said it over and over, but that's kind of on the list too.
Yeah.
Especially when you can get like big cuts off of these animals where you're harvesting them yourself either way, like with this pig or with the animals we get.
Yep.
And then you can get like big shoulder roasts and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of where I'd like to go.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But you haven't named it.
No, I did not name it.
Good.
It's just bacon. I was trying to come up with something clever and I couldn't. So while we're talking about meat, one of the things that just came out in the regulations I was actually surprised. I thought this was already mandatory, but they've made it mandatory that you have to remove the neck and rib meat from anything you harvest in British Columbia. Did you know that wasn't mandatory?
I thought it was just edible portions. I thought that's what it always said.
Fell under that category, but
maybe they didn't specifically. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any issues with that.
Neither do I.
It's a little more, to get in there. It doesn't take long to take the rib meat. You just have to be careful not to poke anything behind them.
Yeah.
But if you're flipping the meat over, like you flip it, and then all that organs and stuff are going to fall.
Yeah. Depending on what method you're using.
Yeah, if you're using gutless method. Obviously, if you're using the other method, it doesn't matter
at all. Yeah.
But it doesn't take long. Just
even like with some of the deer, there's not a whole lot in there anyways.
No, that's the thing.
And I think some people were under the impression by taking rib meat, that means you have to take the whole rack out of there, which is not the case, just the meat.
Yeah, which we could try that too.
Yeah, but we were chatting a bit about that with the moose group there, and it would be fun to, depending on where we're at, to sort of cut a rack of ribs out of there and barbecue some up would be awesome. Some moose ribs. And the neck meat, man, there's so much good meat in the neck. I can't believe people would not, it's probably very few people who are doing that, but
yeah, I think it's like, as you get into bigger animals, then everyone's doing it for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's when you get into like the smaller animals, like the little whitetail, then people maybe aren't, but there's lots of good meat in there.
Tons.
And remember when we got the elk there, like all the meat that was in that neck?
Yeah.
Oh man. There's so much, like they need a lot of muscle to pack that rack around, and they run through trees like they don't exist.
Yeah, yeah, and there's meat that runs along like the trachea and stuff too. Like it's just loaded with meat in there, man. It's a gold mine.
It's true.
And that makes really good. It's almost like like that one along the trachea is almost like a little mini back strap up there. It's
Mhm.
pretty nice. And everything else you can cut out. You do have to kind of take it in smaller pieces and cut off some of the gristle and all that kind of stuff. But that's perfect for doing grind and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So
Stews and
anyways, yeah, glad to see that's mandatory. I had no idea that it wasn't, but
Yep.
and I don't think there was any other really big changes, although there's some stuff happening up north. They shut down a limited entry moose hunt for a certain region. I haven't done enough reading to really comment on what's going on up there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do a bit of a follow-up on that one because it's kind of interesting, and I think it's something that's been ongoing for a few years now. So
Yeah, like different stakeholder groups.
yeah, it seems a bit
So-
complicated, and stuff I read was too vague to really make a
Yeah.
comment on it. So those of you that know what we're talking about, maybe send in some comments or some reads that you found with some good information on it. Would be cool to kind of talk about that subject. It could be a bit of a complicated one, but still interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything?
That's all I got.
That's all I got too. I hope you guys enjoyed the Jurassic Classic episode. That one was a lot of fun to put together. Curious if anybody has any feedback, let us know. We just released that one yesterday. We're recording today. This will go up on Thursday or something like that. So hope you guys dug it. I guess we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers. This episode of Rookie Hunter was also brought to you by North Arm Knives. North Arm Knives are handcrafted and sold directly through a father and son team right here in British Columbia. Choose from a selection of outdoor knives, kitchen knives, and custom engravings from northarmknives.com. They ship internationally and guarantee all of their work. Kelly and I have put their products to the ultimate test and give them our stamp of approval. Head over to northarmknives.com.